Hello everybody, my name is Ashley Norris and this is my video for the KESA module. I was able to speak with my building principal to understand what their approach is on KESA right now. So I teach at Mulvane High School in Mulvane, Kansas, and we are currently in year 1 of the 5-year accreditation cycle. Our principal has established a building leadership team for the high school to evaluate and assess where the building is as far as the 4 R's are concerned as a whole. And he and the leadership team have placed the high school in a KLN rubric, which is very extensive as we went through some of that. So as far as the school is concerned for relationships, relevance, responsive culture, and rigor, they were able to decide on which 2 of those that our school was going to really focus on. Then they passed this to a district leader team to review as well. So as far as being in year 1, they have chosen the relationships and the rigor piece to really focus on. Now with that, they needed a way to evaluate and measure, and to keep them on the right track, they use what's called a Kansas Star database system, which is a good resource for many things, but some of the aspects that are really helpful for the KESA evaluation is that it's a tracking system. They can set specific indicators, timelines, action plans, establish who would be responsible for meeting those deadlines and whatnot, and of course how to measure them and put them in a realistic time frame. Now on the relationship piece, the building has established set indicators and an action plan that they have set, but they are still in the developmental stage of the rigor rubric, so they're still deciding as a building, what those action plans are going to look like. So he does conduct bi-weekly meetings with his building leadership team to assess the progress and to, reevaluate and see what those action plans are going to look like for what they're still working on. So, is our building a model institution or is it just beginning? I'd say that we're definitely in a transition phase. There's a lot that goes into the decisions that are made, and the principal likes to have a lot of input from his leadership team at the building, but also the district as well. So, and there's very much fine details that they go through and meet about to make this a successful cycle for them. So, it's something that's very new, but it's very much a priority for our district to get that going. So, as far as my principal's leadership style, I'd say that he's very much a democratic leader, but he is a situational leader as well. He does adjust his leadership for whatever situation there is or who he's talking with. I've been able to observe this in our weekly staff meetings that we have. He can be very, diplomatic and want everybody's involvement in the decisions, but he knows his audience too, so he can adjust that when he needs to. So what areas of our school need improvement that we identified? Again, with the KESA evaluation, what they're still trying to establish is an action plan for the rigor piece of it. And from what I can see is there is a bit of a lack with the curriculum aspect. There are some teachers that have been there a while and that they don't want to conform to any new way of teaching. It's their way or the highway. The student passes or fails, and that's not helpful when establishing those rigor plans. So if it was my approach, even though I'm very green to this, one, I'd say, get the staff in there. That would be helpful. But, if you have to work with what you have, as high school teachers, and me as a science teacher, it'd be really nice to have some set meetings that are specific to the subject that I teach, and not just meeting with, my department members at the high school, but also to be able to meet with the middle school and the elementary school teachers as well, to provide those relationships among all the teachers that teach similar subjects in there, and kind of get some feedback and bounce ideas off of each other. What are they learning when they're younger as to what should they expect when they get into high school and get older? So the three PSL standards that would be along these guidelines would be standard number 4, which is effective educational leaders develop and support intellectually rigorous and coherent systems of curriculum, instruction, and assessment to promote each student's academic success and well-being, particularly with what I spoke about, sections B, C, and D would be along those lines. Standard 5, which is effective educational leaders cultivate an inclusive, caring, and supportive school community that promotes the academic success and well-being of each student, particularly D and F on that one. And lastly, standard number 6, which is that effective leaders develop the professional capacity and practice of school personnel to promote each student's academic success, in particular C, D, and F on that one. So thank you for watching. I'm a little bit over, but that's a lot of information. So I hope you all have a great weekend, and thank you for watching. Bye.